I was thinking they had the power pole like extend to actually push the lookout into the sky, but the lookout is actually able to move. If you didn't know.
Yes, but it's just easier to maintain it over one spot with a lot of spiritual updrift.
Possible. I really wonder what's holding it up there in the first place. It's probably just magic. But if it's a person's magic, then a person's magic tends to run on like a limited supply. So it's interesting that it's still up there. Because Kami's not there. Is it Mr. Popo's magic? That could be interesting. Like, say, Mr. Popo... Oh, no, Mr. Popo died. That's right. Mr. Popo died in the Boo Saga, so it can't be if it's a person's magic.
It could have been like... because we don't know too much about Mr. Popo.
Well, I guess that's fair.
Like, he could have been a super badass fighter. That
He was.
No, like, I mean, like, Beerus level, who knows? And he used this spell to create this thing.
Mr. Popo will always be Beerus level in my mind.
Yes, yes. But on paper. I mean, who knows? I think that'd be cool if that was, like, his job, and he just had, like, enough in reserve for as long as it took for him to come back.
Or Mr. Popo's magic could be so different that it, like, doesn't actually go away if he dies, or...
Yeah, he's just still casting the spell from the spirit world.
Or they could have, like, made a wish on the dragon to keep it up there, or something crazy. Mm-hmm. Who knows, honestly.
But, I mean, if the dragon can do it, that would mean Kami could do it, right?
Yeah, theoretically. But, I think... I'm going to go over this in the Dragon Ball video, but Master Roshi, when he's explaining that big single Dragon Ball that we talked about, basically he says that the Dragon Balls were conduits for the spiritual energy of the universe as a whole, more or less. Which would make sense in the Super Dragon Balls, because they're so huge, and they're supposed to draw both universes and get a ton of power from them. So, having one big Dragon Ball, which I'm going to go over, kind of also makes sense. Because the bigger it is, the more spiritual energy you can probably conduct through it.
On one, yes, but you just 1 versus 7 would have more.
Well,
what
I'm not saying they'd have more, I'm saying they'd have about the same amount.
I think they would have more because here it's stagnant, it's just gathering energy, but here it's bouncing back and forth and just increasing its energy like an alternating current.
I guess that's fair. But
especially with the large circles.
What I was getting to with that was that since it's conducting the spiritual energy of the universe, it can make more or less unlimited magics happen as long as it has the power to actually go through. So, say Kami has the power to keep it floating, sure, but just because he has the power doesn't mean he can do it forever, or...
But when he would be like super charged with the spirit energy of the universe, he could.
Exactly. So, by making the wish on the dragon, he could make something permanent happen. Fuck.
Are you annoyed at losing the computer game?
Did you just say your mic?
Shut up! Please collect all the dragon.
But by making a wish on the dragon, he can make something permanent happen and actually stick around and keep the lookout floating and not really have any big consequence to himself for basically just a little usage of power as opposed to having to do this for the rest of your life to keep something going.
Okay. But then why are the Namekian Dragon Balls so different? Is it because they're bigger?
From what I understand, the reason they're more powerful is because they're bigger. But the reason they're different is because the Guardian has different rules, more or less. The Namekians have different morals as a whole. So, the Namekians actually don't believe in wishing people back to life. The Dragon Balls are a part of their society. The Dragon Balls on Earth are their own legend, you know. Mm-hmm. People have to track them down, and it's this big adventure to find them. The Namekians, when they make a wish, sure, their Dragon Balls scatter, but it's probably a sacred thing to go find them after they scatter and put them back in their temples and whatever they have to do with them. So since they don't believe in wishing people back to life, having a one person per wish limit is just an afterthought of the creator of those Dragon Balls. So he goes, well, I don't really need to do this, so there's no point in pouring extra power into doing it. While our Dragon Balls on Earth, in order to have more wishes, we had to mix immortality, according to Dende in the in the abridged series, but I don't remember if it was actually part of the main series, because Z is my weakest point outside of DT.
So you give up infinite cosmic power to gain extra wishes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So having those 2 wishes per granting session means that no immortality, but if you need to res both a population and a planet, now you can do it.
Okay. Funny, it seems like that exact situation happened.
It did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's more or less what I think it comes down to for the Namekian and Earth Dragon Balls being so different. And even the Super Dragon Balls being different from those, is that the creator has an idea for what they want their Dragon Balls to do, and so they're able to more or less push their limits by taking disadvantages or
like this exist?
mixing things or whatever I'm trying to say here. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. By limiting their overall power on one wish, they get more.
Right.
It's like more damage, less charges in Skyrim.
Yeah, actually.
Or 1 damage for 190 strikes. Oh, let's see.
I'm really curious to find out if there is a limit to the Super Dragon Balls or not, because with everything in the series, we're coming up on the problem of escalation, which means after the Tournament of Power, we have to figure out what the next big objective is, right? So
I think you had a good idea with the wish being misworded, and bam.
And bringing back the more universes and having a villain in them. I like that idea. Another idea for
Because
it
they
could
don't have
just
gods
be...
of destruction.
Well, they would, because they'd be wished back with everyone else.
Yeah.
Another interesting idea I've heard for after the Tournament of Power is not necessarily that the other universes get wished back, but let's say they do. And Zeno's just like, okay, well, we got more universes, and the goal was to wipe them out, so we're going to either take the one or ones that survive the first tournament, put them in the ring with the rest, and/or you know, the ones that actually lost from the first tournament, not necessarily has to, but could be good for the variety. Mix up the tournament in some way and make it like 2-on-2 matches or something crazy, and make it 5-man teams. Make it interesting, you know, give us something cool, and just move to a next tournament. But again, the problem with that is that we have the problem of escalation that we're building up to. Jiren is more or less the Superman of our series right now. He can do it all. He's the big guy. No matter what comes up, until Jiren's defeated, he will be the big threat. And once Jiren's defeated, then we need a little time to cool down, get some slice of life in there, and then move on to next threat.
Yeah, you need to see more about the radish farms. The radish farms. You need to know, is Chi-Chi running a successful business? Is Gohan helping? Gohan went to school for stuff like this, right? Because we need to know about the radishes. Now, hey, listen, radish money paid for Gohan's schooling. Why are you laughing?
Because it's funny.
But yes, some slices of life. But then comes the problem is that Goku, if he doesn't fuse and he beats Jiren, just as Goku, Beerus is going to have to worry about that the entire time.
Yeah.
Because he saw Vegeta.
No, he didn't, actually.
He wasn't in, oh, you're right. Because that was done in the,
This timeline,
Yep.
he didn't go.
Yep, so he did not see Vegeta. Oh, geez, so he might...
He might get a very rude awakening.
Yeah, where the Supreme Kai just throws his Katara.
Yeah.
He gets a hold of it.
I really like the idea of fusing together Android 17 and 18 into Android 35. I wish that had become a thing. It's too bad. I mean, of course, we still have the Portara on our side. You know, we could be holding it as a trump card.
17 is a badass. I would... Dude, 17 fuse with anybody right now.
Yeah, seriously.
17 is so deceptively powerful. Like, he was strong. He was always strong. But then, you know, when he was fighting Goku on the island, he was still holding back, and then here, he is jumping around so friggin' fast. I bet he could have kept up with Dice Bell.
Dispo? Yeah, probably. You know what would be really interesting if like we went down to just like Goku and Frieza, and he's like, "Here, use the Portara," and they're like, no." And then eventually they actually do it, and we have Goiza or whatever. That would be Freaku. Freaku. I actually like that one a lot. Spell it with an A, so it's Freak.
Froku?
Oh, Freaku.
I like Froku. Dude, oh my god, he transforms into Golden Frieza Super Saiyan 3 Ultra Instinct. Just like, he is
the whole battlefield just falls apart.
Yeah, he is so powerful that all the angels swarm to protect Zeno, but everybody just dies around him except Zeno, who's just like, what?
You want to know one of the problems that Z set as a precedent? Right now, currently in Super, everybody's fighting on Kachi-Kashin, which is the strongest material in any universe, supposedly, right? And these guys are wrecking the tournament ring. It is fucking ruined. The only thing that still seems to be standing is the pillar in the freaking middle, right? So, that's one of the problems with the series, actually, is that they don't have, like, medals and stuff that they can't break. Because, like, that could be used interestingly. Like, remember in the Pilaf saga way back when everyone was running from a giant friggin' pinball, and they couldn't really do anything about it. It was just a big metal ball, and there was nothing that could be done. Nowadays, if that happened, they'd just punch it and it would break.
What if they, I mean, science-wise, if you're, when you can break metal and stuff, you just push it in until it gives out. These guys are masters of space and time and matter. They could create something with no space in between the atoms.
I guess it's theoretical, but like,
and
we haven't seen anything like that, and we probably won't. So
I'm just saying they have the ability to make a truly indestructible thing.
Yeah, that could be cool.
And maybe Gods of Destruction can destroy it because that's what they do.
Yeah, definitely. But like,
maybe
I feel like it's a missed opportunity for these days, you know? Because we can't, like, put our heroes in traps anymore. Traps are nothing. Traps were nothing in Dragon Ball, sure, but they were used, A, as comedy, B, as ways to convey that the villains were out of their league when they were fighting Goku and them, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when General White throws Goku and Android 8 down into the room with that big fat guy. What was his name? Booyan. Yeah, that was his name. He was a big pink fat guy, right? And Goku breaks open the wall and freezes him to get out. But like, Goku could break through bricks even then to go through a wall and have no trouble. But like, you can't just trap a hero these days. Nobody. I doubt you could trap Krillin if you really wanted to. I really think you could break that stuff. And it's like, I feel like this is a disadvantageous situation towards the series as a whole.
Yeah. Especially because the Gods of Destruction repaired Titan, right? After they destroyed it.
Yep.
You think they could at least create something that requires the destruction energy.
Exactly. Like, that could be interesting, you know, some material that actually does require a God of Destruction to be destroyed, or broken, or whatever. But of course, Goku's about to come beyond the God of Destruction eventually.
Yeah,
we don't know exactly when. Theoretically, yeah.
Well, Beerus said it, and the clown one was like, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, but we don't know if Jiren's the warrior who is stronger than his God of Destruction. They said there exists in some universe a warrior who's stronger than their God of Destruction. And while Whis was like, wow, he does really seem stronger than Belmont, and while I could believe it, that doesn't necessarily mean there aren't other beings out there who are also stronger than their Gods of Destruction.
I feel like that'd be prophesized more, and like, the angels would tell their Gods of Destruction, though.
They probably do know. Well, why would you reveal you had a trump card before it was time to play it?
No, I'm talking about the stress that the gods would have in their own existence if they had that.
I guess that's fair, but Jiren seems to get along fine with Belmont.
Well, Jiren is kind of like Goku, where I think he has this unshakable code, and that code just happens to somewhat align with the Galaxy Troopers.
I guess that's pretty reasonable. Jiren doesn't seem to be quite one of them. He does seem to stick out like a sore thumb.
But like, in D&D, you have different alignments, right? Lawful good, chaotic good, neutral good. And let's take the three characters with Goku, Jiren, and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Goku being neutral good, he just wants to help everybody. Vegeta, who went from being chaotic evil to chaotic good, he's impulsive, he doesn't really follow too many rules. His pride kicks in away a lot. Like in the Tournament of Powers, when he lands on that little thing.
Oh, you mean the Universe
No, yeah,
6
the
and
Universe
7
67, yes. Instead of getting rid of he was on that, he got super pissed.
Yep.
Like the chaotic good, like he is in because of a technicality. He is still in because of a rule, and that made him super pissed of the chaotic good. But Jiren is lawful good, where that law is that code of honor, where it's like, evil can't exist, I gotta get rid of it. And that's interesting now that I'm saying that out loud, because why would they have a universe rating or humanity rating so low when you had Jiren?
Well, to be fair, if their universe is really not that chaotic, they wouldn't have a need for the Pride Troopers in the first place. And Jiren being their quote-unquote trump card, I don't know why I'm saying quote-unquote, Jiren being their trump card, kind of should just show that they have enough trouble in their universe, because with the Pride Troopers as a whole, I mean, Jiren's probably had some great adventures. We just probably have no idea what they are. That or Jiren's straight up either Superman, One Punch Man, whatever you want to say, the guy who just ends all his fights immediately and has never had any problem with anything.
I think he'd be more One Punch than Superman, where he is just a being of so much cosmic power. And it could have been something like the Ultra Divine Water, or the fruit
Of the Tree of Might?
Yes. He could have had something that's all those combined.
And that gave him his
Yeah,
power?
and he could have found it completely by mistake. Because
Possible.
I
I personally like to think that Jiren was born that way. He just seems to have this imposing nature, not just, like, figure, you know? Like, his attitude seems to perfectly fit his power. Like, remember how I mentioned earlier how I miss how Goku did more standing and dodging fight? That's how Jiren fights. Like Belmont said pretty early in the Tournament of Power, someone was like, dude, Jiren's just standing there. What is going on? Why is this happening? And someone's like, good! That's how I want him to fight, because when he's fighting like that, that's when he's fighting at his best. And when you saw Goku go Ultra Instinct, Jiren and he jumped up into the air to fight. So Jiren's leaving his comfort zone to fight Goku. And I do wish Goku would do a little more of that defensive, I'm going to stand here and wait for you to attack kind of fighting. But, like I said, more of these days as it has to come in, because it always comes in. It's just not as solid against an opponent who knows what they're doing, you know?
Well, the Ultra Instinct Goku, he had they were pretty close, and then he lands that solid knee on Jiren, sends Jiren away, and then he loses it as he's punching him.
Yep.
And it sucks because it looked like Goku was gaining the advantage on him, and then as he goes to get that punch, he lost all of it.
I still think that might have had something to do with Jiren himself. I think he might have, like you said, that heat is his limit, and when you see Goku transform into Ultra Instinct, he has that aura again. It wasn't the singularity of the transformation of absorbing the Spirit Bomb. No, that wasn't the Spirit Bomb's aura, that was his. So, yeah, I don't know.
I just want to know, like, how is he gaining stamina fighting at the top speed against two superpowered Saiyans?
You haven't seen enough Dragon Ball.
No, it's like, I don't understand how that is the fight where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get all my energy back into Ultra Instinct. Now, like, if he got beat by that, was able to rest, got more energy in, and then overcame that, I would understand that, but I feel like he'd just be on, not for a stamina or anything, like Super Saiyan Blue, or, I don't know if Ultra Instinct is stamina journey. It could...
Personally, I would say it doesn't look like it is. What happened to Goku when he was blown back by Jiren was Jiren, like, forced his energy forward and blasted him away, right? Mm-hmm. So that looked like it was just the damage that knocked him down from Ultra Instinct, right? So when Goku's using Ultra Instinct, he seems to, like I said before, use the stand still and fight kind of method. It seems like his body's just doing whatever the last possible second's motion can be to actually succeed in what it's trying to do. Where was it going? Right, so he's doing the standing still type fighting, which is like how we told Vegeta to relax earlier on in the series, and you saw when he was fighting Goku Black, he like had his arms kind of slouched, and he did the same thing against Hit. And that seems to be what Ultra Instinct is about, is letting your body just react. It doesn't need you to tell it what to do. And it seems like now Goku's just starting to gain control of it and be able to tell his body what to do and have it do its own thing at the same time, which is where the whole stacking thing might come out to be really interesting, but I'm not sure.
Speaking of stacking, if he's going to have the power to keep up with Jiren, the speed to keep up with him, you know how to fight him, and with the destructive power of Blue, do you think Jiren is hiding that much more power back?
I do. I think Jiren went into meditating because he knew that Goku was going to come back stronger. I really do.
Do you think Jiren... Why wouldn't Jiren just finish him off?
Why?
He saw him.
Well, think about it. Remember when Hit was more or less knocked off guard by Goku, and he was like, hey, this guy's actually pretty good. You know, I could totally make myself stronger by fighting this guy for a little while.
But Hit learns by getting his ass kicked. Like, that's what he did to Dispo.
Well, what Hit did to improve his power seems to have been, like, raising his ki, but his ki seems to have had direct effect on his time skip ability, right? So his physical fighting didn't actually get any stronger.
This really did got much faster. Like, he was able to protect himself, move into positions, and even if someone moves at light speed versus the time skip, if you don't time skip, that light speed should still hit him.
Well, like, as you go through a fight, you would obviously learn more about your opponent and learn how to counter them, even if you weren't physically becoming any stronger.
I'm not talking about the physical strength, it's just when Dispo started the fight, I don't know, like a billion times faster than Hit.
Whoa.
And that when the muscle sent, like little tense, he heard it, he was able to go light speed, and before that time skip happened, he hit him.
Yep.
So
from what I can tell with Dispo, is Dispo can't actually truly 100% control his speed, like he says he can. Because while, yes, he can jump really quick and jump straight to a certain speed and move before time can end, just because he can do that doesn't mean he's in full control. Like when he's fighting Goku, Goku tells him, your movements are too linear, which means he's coming straight forward and he's moving so quickly that Goku can pick him out and go, here's where my fist needs to be to connect with your face. So that means that when you're watching Dispo go, you can actually see that he doesn't have the full control, you know?
Okay. That makes sense, because if he was really that fast, I never understood how anybody could keep up with that.
Exactly. Because the moment he comes up to hit you, unless he's hitting you with that infinity speed punch or whatever it is, the moment he's getting ready to hit you is your opportunity to attack back or defend, whatever you're going to do. definitely about time to wrap up, though. Do you have any other cool ideas?
Well, we have a secret project we're currently working on. We'll just let you know about that in the future.
Oh, we can talk about it now. I don't mind bringing it up, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. So, we are currently working on a module for the Savage Worlds role-playing game system for a Dragon Ball setting. And once we get that system on paper, we're going to give it a few test runs, and if it works the way we like it, we're going to start a little video series of us playing through the adventures of a brand new universe, brand new everything.
And it's going to be interesting. We have, 22 races, something like that?
Oh yeah, we have, for a possibility of 4 to 5 players.
Don't list them all off.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 races.
Okay, so we have 20 races. They all have ups and downs. We're intending for them all to have some way to work together, or, you could all be the same race if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. You should be able to get through the whole story that way. Everyone should be able to deal with the same problems, just in the different ways that they're supposed to be able to do it. Like, I don't know the exact details. I'm not really I know I'm saying it wrong when I say I'm not a D&D-er, but I'm not a D&D-er, guys. I don't know.
Not one yet.
That's true. Not one yet. I just don't know the things. But what do you say? You're a Savage Worlder? How do you call that?
I'm RPG.
Okay.
I have been playing Savage Worlds for about 8 months, and I love it. I think the system's super open. I had an idea to run this on D&D 3.5, and it was very possible. Just way too many numbers. Savage Worlds is very clean. You don't have huge, plus 70 to your rolls. You don't have to worry about super high DCs. It's a very clean system, so we went with the Savage World system.
And then he and I ended up meeting at work. So we ended up meeting, game talent with Dragon Ball Guru. So I know Dragon Ball Guru is probably giving myself a little too much credit, but either way, we're basically trying to build the most interesting game that we can out of it. Are the villains and stuff that I'm going to be making set to it, or are they?
Well, what I was going to work with you is that you just tell me what does a character do. Mm-hmm. And I was going to stat it out, and then be like, this is what this character, with this power level, like this. Then you flesh it out, and make it a character fit there. So you can, if we want, we can put up, character bios, even, little write-ups of each one, so if you want to run through a similar universe, we'll keep everything on, a Google Drive.
Yeah, totally. That would be awesome, because I have a good few cool ideas for characters, for enemies, and supporting characters, stuff like that.
Dedicated to this universe of Savage Worlds.
That would be awesome.
Dragon Ball. So I guess we'll keep you posted on that. We'll have links and everything when they're made.
Eventually, yep. But I think that's all I've got. Yes. Do you have anything else? Any plugs you'd like to make?
fi4f.com.
fi4f.com. You heard it here first on Tyrone the Renegade's Dragon SpitBallin. Next week, we're probably going to be watching the second half of Dragon Ball SpitBallin. That's stupid. Get that sentence out of here. Thank you. Good job, me. The reason I said that was because I was going to cut it into multiple episodes, and I was making the end of the first week, but not all of the weeks. Next week, we're probably going to be covering either the original story of the Dragon Balls that Master Roshi tells with the one large Dragon Ball, and going over that Dragon Ball, the regular Dragon Balls of Earth, the Black Star Dragon Balls, the Super Dragon Balls, the Namekian Dragon Balls, and holy shit, I said Dragon Balls a whole lot in that sentence. So, yeah, that's what we would be. That is a lot of balls. We would be covering that next time. I was really trying to avoid that fucking joke.
No, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry. That's a lot of balls. You already swore during it, so we're no longer family friendly.
We haven't been this whole time. It's just that was the obvious joke that I didn't want to make.
Alright, I'll keep my mouth shut this time.
It's okay. But thanks everybody for watching. I've been KnightPercy the Renegade. This is TacoSupreme, is that right? Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wait, Goku's character development probably won't be next week. Sorry. Bye.